Well, our guest today on Absolutely Famous is Christchurch Football Club legend Kit Chambers. Yes, that is the football club, which is actually the rugby club. Kit is also a former Canterbury cricket representative and a legend of the beautiful Heathcote Valley. Kit was recently liaison man for the Chiefs rugby team while they were in the Garden City for last Friday's Super Rugby opener, and got an inside look at how they operate, and a great win over the Crusaders. Kit, welcome to Absolutely Famous. Great to have you on the show, mate.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure to be back on. It's been a while. Always enjoy chatting with you. And yes, no, you're right. I was on duty on Friday looking after the Chiefs. Yeah, it was good. Good bunch of blokes.
Yeah, they are a good bunch of blokes, and they would have surprised a few Cantabrians, I'd imagine, with not only the result but how convincing it was. But it didn't surprise me because like you, I've seen them close up training, and I know how much artillery they've got.
Yeah, well, it's the old scenario. South Island, Crusaders. A lot of people can't see past the Crusaders, and I'm probably one of them. But having dealt with other teams, it gives you a good insight of how they operate. And the Chiefs are a very respectful side and mindful of what's ahead of them, not just what happened on Friday night. And a lot of those guys, they underrated, off the field. But their turn will come, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Were you surprised the Crusaders' second half effort? It just seemed to be pretty limp, didn't it?
Yeah, we'll go into the game, John. I think Crusaders, talking to a few of the people in the know there on the coaching panel, they said that they had a great week and trained up well. But you hear this all the time. You'll be very surprised they didn't train up well. At 12-10 down at half-time, I think it was. Honestly, they were right in the game, and they looked a better side there for about 20 minutes, and then it started to peter away. And I thought, 12-10 at half-time, that's anyone's game. But whatever happened at half-time did not work, because the Chiefs came out far more aggressive, focused, enthused, passion, and blew us off the park. End of story.
Yeah, I was surprised how many tackles the Crusaders fell off. It was an enormous number of tackles, just very unlike them.
Defensive pattern wasn't good. It was there, but they just didn't take the tackles. They fell off them. As simple as that. There was no excuse for it, whether they're trying to adapt to the new or too much aware of the above-shoulder tackle. I don't know, but we missed a lot of tackles. The Chiefs executed the gap well, as opposed to running at a player. They ran into a gap. Makes it always a bit hard on one shoulder or the other to bring a player down. If you only get through half a gap, you've done a job. And support play was excellent from the Chiefs, and they just made the less amount of mistakes in the game, where we made a lot more mistakes, I felt, on the day, they'll be disappointed with the Crusaders, but full marks to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I guess for me, a big difference between the Chiefs this year and last year is the return of Damian McKenzie. He offers them another sort of X factor on attack, doesn't he? And he's a brave little bugger too.
Yeah, had a chat with Damian before the game on Friday and on Thursday when they arrived as well, and he was very positive about how they would go. There's not much of that man, but guts, determination, and he's got it right up here. His game, the thinking game on the day, was better than Richie Mwanga, which surprised me a wee bit. Had an outstanding game. He took control of the whole situation for 80 minutes, end of story, and played exceptionally well. He would have been my player of the day without a doubt, because he led the team around the park into positions that made it always difficult for the Crusaders to get out of, and along with Sean Stevens, who was the other rocket of the player of the day, he played very well too. But, Damian McKenzie, terrific. Had a great game.
I thought Sam Cane, he's much maligned the last couple of years for his, some say, below form with the All Blacks. I thought he had a cracking game the other night. Did you see it that way?
Yep. Once again, people tried to write Sam Cane off, his leadership qualities, his manner on the park amongst those teammates of his is top notch and well respected. Had an outstanding game once again, which he seems to always do. And yeah, to me, he's got to be in that All Black mix. No two ways about it. He was another person that could have got Player of the Day. His work rate was high, played very well. And the others that, while we're talking about players that, well, was Samasoni Takaheha, the hooker, was just a rolling ball of fire. Luke Jacobson, Brodie Retallick, and Alex Nankivell, again, were people that stood out very highly, as you would expect, experienced players.
Well, Alex Nankivell's a classic case. Alex is our guest throughout the season this year, so we're privileged to have him. He's an ex-Canterbury boy, and honestly, Kit, he should have been in the All Blacks last year. They picked Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, to me, on potential. They didn't pick it on form. Alex was the best midfielder last year, and he's carried on.
Yeah, no, he understands, well, if you're talking about Roger Tuivasa-Sheck and Alex Nankivell, there's no comparison. Alex Nankivell's game is far more structured and balanced, and he knows how to read a game better. It's difficult for Roger to come from this league background, I guess. I know he probably played rugby at high school, or half of them did, in the league team. But that's the difference. Experience of position of second five. I can't understand why they've never played Roger Tuivasa-Sheck at fullback, to be honest.
Yeah. So who from the Crusaders impressed you? I mean, it's not all gloom and doom.
Good point. They were solid across the board, but just made those errors at vital times. But a rain early on, a lot of rain. The surface was very greasy, which wouldn't show up on your television. Very slippery on top, and our handling, let us down at vital times. We probably should have scored 2 tries in the first half, blew it. I think the midfielder, Braden Eno and Jack Hoodue, very solid games, those two, and the front row of Joe Moody and Fletcher Newell in the first half impressed. Their scrum went well, but when they came off in the second half, that's where things went downhill a wee bit, I felt. The change of the run on the reserves didn't have the desired effect. And the other player that, of course, was outstanding, went all 80 minutes, Ethan Blackadder was terrific.
Oh, he just doesn't play a poor game, does he?
No, it doesn't seem to. No, outstanding. So they're the players that stood out in the Crusaders. Got concerns at halfback. We don't seem to have enough variation there, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but it's vital that we offer something different, I think, at halfback. And a couple of players that played there on Friday night were good, but I think we're going to need better.
Yeah, very predictable, isn't it? You notice Brad Webber, he's a linchpin of that back line. To me, he's the number 2 halfback in the country, and I'm exactly agree with what you say about the Crusader halfbacks. They just don't run, do they? They don't challenge the defence.
No, we need that. It's exactly what you said. We need to offer some more on the field to make some breaks and look for opportunities. They are there, but whether the plan is feed that back line. It's a good-looking back line on paper, but on the day we just couldn't defend. Break the Chiefs' defence, which was outstanding. They had a really good game right across the park. Defence, attack, accuracy, and thinking. It was all there on the day. So long way to go in the season for them. Let's hope they can maintain it, and the Crusaders can learn from their lacklustre performance. Razor Robertson will probably echo those thoughts and wonder what went wrong, but they'll bounce back. Big day over in Melbourne with the Super Round.
Yeah, wonderful day over there.
We play Highlanders, and so that'll be another tough one.
Yeah, will it ever? Did you notice the game with the new concentrating on trying to keep the game going quicker? Did you think the game was a little bit quicker with the time restrictions on?
Yes, it was most definitely quicker. And talking to some of them afterwards, they all said that, the players, that there was a very noticeable, the lungs were going a lot harder than what they have in seasons gone by. So that's a positive. And spectators seemed to like it. The game was sped up, 30 seconds for a scrum, 30 seconds line out. Get your act together, let's get moving. The average prior to this season, ball and play, was around about 37 and a half minutes. It's been worked out officially, which is less than half a game, the ball and play.
Yeah, not good enough.
No, simply not. So there we go. That's what we're going to do. And there's room for other things to be altered too, in my book, but that's for another day.
Yeah. And the New Zealand teams, apart from the Highlanders, the New Zealand teams performed pretty well. I thought the Hurricanes were very good against the Queensland Reds up there in Townsville, 47-13, and it would have been stinking hot up there because it's hot down here on the Gold Coast and it's hotter up there.
That's right. I can't comment too much, but I did look at those results. Brumbies 31-25 over the Waratahs, close call there. That's good to see. The Drua 36-34 over Moana Pacifica. Blues walloped the Highlanders really 60-20, but that was in the second half. Hurricanes, as you say, 47-13 over the Reds, outstanding. And the Force 34-27 Rebels, so another close game there. So apart from that, Blues 30-20, which is quite a bit of a hiding, and the Hurricanes 47-13. I think some good rugby. So maybe these new rule changes, just tinkering around there, have helped points on the board. Points are coming better, so I like it.
Yeah, so do I, kid. I thought all the games were entertaining. The ones, especially most, as you say, most of the games were close, and it did look as though it was getting a little bit back to the early days of Super Rugby when it used to be more of an entertainment. It's fun to watch.
We're up against a lot of sport out there that people like entertainment, and that's what you've got to think of, as they say, bums on seats, And it was a pretty good crowd at the Crusaders Chiefs, which was good. And the weather was a little bit dismal, a bit overcast, but they turned up in droves. So got to get the crowds back. We're going to build some stadiums here in Christchurch, and they're going to fill them up. So, and it's got to be entertaining. But that was, and I think going forward, it does look positive.
Yeah, exactly. And a big plus for Australian rugby, the Kiwi boys. Supporters probably wouldn't realise it, but Eddie Jones hasn't even got the team on the park yet, but already the profile of rugby shot up tenfold. He was at the ground on Sydney and his photo flashed up on the scoreboard and he got a standing ovation.
Right. Well, I wondered about that because, getting sort of dismissed from England and then coming back and really getting the boot out of Australia, I was a bit surprised, and I sort of wondered whether it would work. But obviously, from what you're saying, it's going to be a very positive and welcomed change. Is that correct?
Well, I think so, Kit. Yeah, there's just a whole new positivity about the game here, and you listen to the players afterwards, and they've been interviewed. They're just, players who might not have been in Dave Rennie's frame. No one knows who's in Eddie's frame, so it's just added a bit of an edge to it. Yeah.
Oh, good luck to him. Because we need that Australian setup to be strong.
Most definitely.
And is that right? Yeah, they do. And the players are there. He might have some other better ideas, positional changes, or bring in some new talent. At times you're looking at those Waratahs, Brumbies. The players, even the Force Rebels. Two high-scoring games.
Yeah.
Entertaining. So the players are there, the talent's there. Got to pick the right people, don't you? That's the key to it.
Yep.
And some of those players, I'm sure, will get their chance with Australia.
Is there anybody in the Chiefs Crusaders match that isn't an All Black that you thought, gee, he looks All Black material, potential?
Interesting question. Well, we have touched on one, of course, Alex Nankivell, but he's already signed to go overseas, and he'll be a loss. I think that's a shame because he going forward under a new coach, if there is one, nobody knows what's happening here.
Who knows?
I'm sure he might have got a job, but I don't know what they're going to do with the midfield, John, because as I just talked about, Enor and Goodhue back there. You've got Anton Leonard-Brown, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Rico Ione. The list goes on and on. And I don't think we're settled on a combination, but he'd be one that possibly should be in that All Black setup. And, of course, Sean Stevenson already is, but he's just he's got to come in somewhere and demand a position. He's just incredible at the moment.
Yeah.
His problem, I think, in the past has been consistency on the field for 80 minutes. Goes to, sort of walk about now and again. Just keep focused and he'll be there.
Yeah, there's certainly the talent around. It's just a matter of, as you say, picking the players in the right positions. Kit, always wonderful. Oh, before I go, of course, congratulations on making the New Zealand over-70s cricket team. Outstanding. You had a week tour of Australia how did that go?
That was good. Hey, thank you for that. It was something that I never really intended or was focused on doing, but the opportunity came up with a phone call and said, would you be interested in making yourself available? And I said, no. But so then I thought, why not? You only live once, John. And I thought I'll take the opportunity. And it was extremely good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the people in Tasmania. Hobart we went to first, and then down to Launceston. Terrific place. And the concept of this tournament, which, represented but all the states in Australia, plus 2 teams from New Zealand, was terrific, and the camaraderie and, met up with a few old people that I hadn't seen for some time. So that was a bonus. In fact, we've got a Canterbury Veterans Cricket dinner on tonight at the Beeley. So looking forward to mingling with some of the boys again at that tonight.
It's a tough life you live, I can tell that.
Yeah. No, he never turned down an opportunity like that, Jay. I haven't changed that much.
No, exactly. All right, mate. Thanks for coming on. Always love chatting to you. And like I said, thanks for your observations there. Very good.
Well, I hope I've been of some help and put a bit of interesting comment there with what I saw and what I do here. But no, it's interesting. It's a hard job for anybody in a coach manager role, looking after teams. But that's what it is. You put your hand up and you get the job done.
Good stuff. Thanks, Kit.
All right, mate.